Hey, all right, now we're for real
Okay,
live. This is
now I'm
live.
for real life.
Happy
Whoa.
Friday. Whoa, we're here, everyone. What the hell are we talking about? OBS, yeah. Super complicated for me to set up, just not knowing anything about it. And
hmm
that's why I like this talk studio because it's browser based. It doesn't like bog down your process because OBS is pretty intensive on your system too, especially if you're running
hmm
multiple applications. Um, so that's why I went with this. And they have a pretty good free option that has enough stuff that I need that I'm happy with it. So you're streaming now? Are you
I'm
streaming
streaming.
now? You
I'm,
are.
am
You're
I?
officially a streamer now. I mean, you're on.
Oh,
So it's
sweet.
happening.
I feel
Sick.
like I don't. I need different headphones. I need like the
You
streamer
do.
headphones, and I need the streamer. I actually have a good microphone in my basement. Should I run and get it?
Oh.
I don't
You
know.
should do it. Why not?
Do it? Okay,
Yeah,
hang
it
on.
just started.
Hold,
We got
please.
time. We got
Hang on.
time.
All right, I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. She's going to get a microphone, guys. Not that not that anybody's here yet anyways. But let's we live. Boom. All right. So she's going to get a real streamer mic, a real streamer person mic. Because we're streamers now. Whoa, look at that thing.
It's real. Okay, wait. Let's see if I
Yeah,
can.
that's legit.
I gotta figure this out. I'm a professional. Here we go.
Total pro.
Okay.
There it is. Hook it up. Make sure you switch the input to that too.
Yes.
Big mistake I make often. All right.
Hold on.
Okay. We're almost there.
Maybe.
She's almost ready. See, this will be good because don't you have a work related thing coming up after this. So if you have your mic all set up, be nice. Get that crispy audio. Actually, crispy sounds bad for audio. I don't think you want crispy audio.
Let's see. Is this different?
Tap on it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. Well, now I need to get. Now it's not coming out of here yet. Say something.
Say something. Hello. Happy Friday. Not happening.
Yay.
Is it working?
Can you hear
Voice.
me?
Oh, she says voice. Pranav said voice is not audible. Who can you not hear, Pranav? I can hear you. Let me pull it. I'm going to pull up the stream. Let me see if I can hear it. Maybe
Oh,
nobody can hear us. Let's see. I hear
nobody.
you.
Nobody can hear us.
Somebody said voice is not audible, but I don't. Let me see. No,
Pranav, is that still the
totally.
case?
I can hear it. I just checked the
Okay.
stream. There's audio.
Okay.
Snap, crackle, pop is the best type of audio. That's right, Chris Lane Jones. You know what else is great? People with three names. I like the three names. What would your third name be? Annie Bridgerton Sexton. Did I
I don't
pronounce
know.
your name right? Annie?
Yes. That's actually it's
Anna,
what's funny is Annie's not even my legal name. It's just like a nickname that
really?
like no one else calls me. No one else
Really?
calls me my legal name.
It's a stage name because your real name is Dolores. Is it just
Yes.
too hard to
It's
remember?
Dolores. It's Dolores. Yes.
Um, yeah, I feel like you told me that when we met at Render that it was
I was like, "Hi, I'm
Dolores.
Dolores.
Yeah,
Hi."
I was like, who? Who are you? All right, let's talk about your Friday. You've got a busy little
Okay.
day today, and then I want to chat about all of this new video content you're putting out because it's really awesome. You should be very proud of yourself. The quality is
Thank
super
you.
good, but I feel like
Thank you.
you have a lot of friends that you work with that probably made you feel like you had to step your game up. I'm talking to you, Jason Langsdorf. So I feel like the level you already had like all of that influence and thought So it was probably really cool to have it for inspiration. But anyway, tell us about your Friday after this.
So I'm actually doing another stream with my coworker and friend Z at Fly.io. We're talking about scaling your LLM models. Z is actually probably going to teach me a lot of stuff. So I'll be playing the part of the stupid person who asks a lot of questions. But I'm excited to learn about that. But and oh, hello, Arlo. My dog is being cute in the corner.
A
But
dog.
yes, he's over here.
Let's see.
This is part of my Friday.
Oh,
Cute. Anyways, sorry, I'm very easily distracted.
you're fine.
So that's basically my Friday. Um, I have one more video I need to edit, but yeah, the YouTube thing has been really really fun. I was telling you, I was going to say off camera, not off camera, off, when we weren't
Backstage.
live.
Yeah.
Um, that I've actually been doing YouTube for years just on my own. I actually started when I was 20, which is many years ago. Um, and I started when I was like studying abroad and I wanted to show off my life there. And I did that for a long time. And then I did another channel about like eco-friendly living and stuff and zero waste shit. And that was really fun. So I have a lot of years of experience. So I didn't just like wake up knowing how to do this stuff. I've spent many times screwing up, but yeah, I'm not gonna ever. Well, I don't know about ever, but like it's gonna be some time before I'm at like Jason Link sort of level. But but he's definitely an inspiration. He's great.
Yeah, that's some top tier stuff that he's putting out. But your stuff already is so good. I think you had a lot of years of experience already, which helped. What made you pivot now? Like, why now are you deciding that you want to do this content?
Well, I feel like there's two different types of content that I'm doing now. On the side for funsies, I'm like dressing up and doing dumb stuff on TikTok, which is purely funsies, purely like my desire for mirth in my life. Like that's it. Um, but the thing I'm really ramping up on is the videos for Fly.io. So, and this is a company initiative of like we're pumping out more videos now. We really want to push that initiative, which I learned about like right after I came back from vacation.
Mhm.
And I was beyond thrilled. I was like, this is my moment. I've been waiting for this. This is my moment.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. So I'm super stoked. We have a lot of content that we want to turn into videos, and we've got a lot of things planned for the future, which I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but it's mysterious.
It's hush
Um,
hush.
but yeah, it's kind of a dream come true being able to come back to work and be like, surprise, that niche skill that you have, now we need it. And you can get paid for it. It's so great.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I feel like that's everyone's best case scenario, right? Is doing stuff that they really enjoy doing and getting paid for it. What Oh, I had a follow-up question there, but it totally escapes me. Oh, yeah, maybe for anybody that doesn't know what the hell you're talking about when you say Fly.io, maybe you could give us a quick rundown of what that is and what you
Yeah.
actually do there.
So Fly.io, let me see if I can give you the spiel that I like to give. So Fly.io, um, you could compare it to Heroku as like an evolution of that, but really we are cloud infrastructure. So
Mhm.
Fly.io is public cloud infrastructure. But when you're working with it, it feels a lot like a modern platform as a service. Like you can literally just run like a command and you have your app running in the cloud. So um, we work a little bit differently. Like we don't use containers. We actually run your app in a virtual machine. Um, and the other thing is, we don't use the word like cloud computing necessarily. Or it's not cloud. I'm sorry, edge computing.
Edge.
We don't really use the word edge. Um, but we do have you are able to launch your app in like any number of regions that you want, and
Mhm.
our router will um, route users to the closest region. So that's pretty cool. I've worked on a lot of I love the cloud. Yes, me too. Thank you for. Oh, that was you. I thought that was a user
Oh
that was
no,
posting
that
the
was
link,
me.
but yes. Anyway, I was like, thanks, chat. Oh no, that was Jason. um, so yeah, it's Flight.io is great, and I have a lot to compare it to. I used to work at Render, and then I worked at Heroku for 5 years before that.
Hmm.
And both awesome platforms, but Fly.io is a really it's different than the other platforms that I work on, which obviously I'm going to sound very biased in saying that because they pay me money. But the truth is, like, it really is awesome to be able to deploy apps and have more control, but it not feel overwhelmingly complicated. Like we kind
Mm.
of sit in this interesting niche spot between like we get a lot of um, obviously we get a lot of application developers, like full stack people who come to us who are looking for more control, looking for more control over like networking, things like that. Because all fly apps, like they're connected through a private network, and so
Hmm.
like if you don't, it's very easy to like have apps not exposed to the internet and cannot talk to each other. So that's really nice. Um, but oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So we get a lot of full stack people, but then we also get a lot of people from the DevOps side who are kind of
Mm.
tired of. Um, I want to say this cautiously because I don't want to shit talk Amazon, but we do actually. I think there is an appeal to Fly for people in the DevOps world that want a simpler experience, that want something more streamlined, and so we
Yeah,
kind of fall in the middle there, and it's really nice.
yeah, I like
So that's my
that.
spiel. That's my spiel.
I dig it. And then what specifically is your title? What do you do? Because it seems like you wear a lot of hats based on our conversations.
Yes. So I was initially hired as a JavaScript expert, which who knows what that means. Um, but it was like tangential to DevRel, but it was my initial role was all about getting more JavaScript users interested in the platform. Um, and that looked like a lot of different things, like writing blog posts and connecting with the community and going to conferences and stuff. So as you can see, it does have a lot of overlap with DevRel.
Hmm.
Now I am officially DevRel. Like I was kind of
Oh,
already doing
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but now I'm like official DevRel with a capital D, capital R. Um, and it's not too much of a shift. It just means that I'm not solely responsible for all of JavaScript, which was very intimidating, if I'm being honest. It was like we
I
had all these
bet.
other frameworks, people who were specialists in Ruby on Rails and Django and Laravel, and then there was just JavaScript. Which framework? Just JavaScript. Okay.
Just JavaScript. There you
That
go.
was a little, yeah, but it was still really fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been really loving DevRel, and man, I've been seeing so many articles online that are like, "Is DevRel dead?" I'm like, "Well, I hope not. I just started. Please don't." I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah, there's been a real interesting shift, and I think like maybe 5 or 6 years ago that developer advocate was the boom, right? But as budgets are tightening and the economy's gotten weird, there's certain roles that are just falling on the chopping block a lot faster because
Yeah.
they were never really defined. Um, so I think it's cool because you already established yourself there and you've shown your worth. So you're still doing all those things, but with a different title. Where does your role fall in the org? Are you predominantly like with engineering, or is it a marketing
I'm
role?
like one step down from the CEO, man. I'm like, I'm hot. No, I'm not. Um, I where are my glasses? I should know this. I think we're not under product. I guess we're under marketing. Yeah, I would
Okay.
assume we're under marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what DevRel is. It's just I don't want to say DevRel is just marketing, but like it's
Yeah.
marketing.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Face value, that's
Yeah.
typically what it is. But again, in different orgs, it's a different um, chain of command or a different
Mhm.
department that it falls into sometimes. And I think there again, without really having like clearly defined points to all of those, is where some of those roles have fallen. And I think there's been, especially with people like Jason or people like Theo. Well, I don't want to say Theo because he's doing a different type of um, video. His content's different than Jason's, but like Chan and
Mhm.
Jason, where they're doing these really high quality visuals for the video content. Like, I think that if you could get that at a cut, like from a contractor, essentially, you could sub out a lot of the developer advocate role.
Mhm.
Um, I think there's the juxtaposition is why would we spend, and I think the point Theo made in one of his videos when he was talking about it was, why would I spend $200,000 a year for somebody to make something that I can get for a third?
Mhm.
So whereas for somebody like you, you've already established yourself in that company. You've done a lot of the different roles. You're fulfilling a lot of the other check boxes. So that's huge. That's awesome for you.
Yeah.
Now, how do you approach the videos you're making for the company? Because obviously they're a little different than the ones that you're making for yourself. And I did post your
Oh,
last
yeah.
fly video in the chat there too, so everybody can go check it out. Make sure you follow Fly and Annie on all the socials. But yeah, like what's your method of creation? I think everybody's got a different style or how they conceptualize what they want to make. What is yours?
For the fly.io videos?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so uh, let me think about this. I actually, so because we're like still very early on, I've got like one video planned for next week, and then the following week is what I'm going to edit today. Hang on, my computer keeps falling asleep. I'm going to need to plug in at some point, but I'll do it later. But the in terms of content, I personally really, and this is not like me publishing like our content calendar or anything. This is just me like what I think about it in the terms
Mhm.
of content that I want us to see. Um, Obviously, I think we're eventually going to have more videos about like the inner workings of Fly. I know we have some like networking content that we want to get out there because I think that's like a huge appeal to about Fly.
Mhm.
Um, but I really like taking the approach, like taking an educational approach. So, starting with something that you know developers want to do, um, starting with that, and then maybe incorporating like, oh, and then here's how you can do it on Fly. Because I think I want to start from like it's really obvious when companies make like very marketing y videos that are very
Oh
like,
yeah.
check out us, look at our product. And the reality is people don't care about your product. They don't care about your platform at all. They care about what they can do with it. They care about what they
Mhm.
can do. In fact, I read this really good user experience book called it was called Badass: Making Users Awesome. And it is
Mm.
hands down, okay, I haven't read that many UX books, so but I feel like I would be hard pressed to find a better book that is very like very readable. It's like really quick to get through, and it is
Uh-huh.
super dense with like really good insights that are not um, immediately obvious. But when you read about them, you're like, oh, that's super clear. And one of the big points was this idea that if you it's not the products that are the most successful don't have the biggest, it's not the ones with the biggest marketing budget.
Mhm.
It's not even the ones who have like the most features. It's the ones that do the best. All of them have in common are the ones that get recommended. Recommended,
Mm.
like almost word of mouth. Like that
Yeah.
is the most important thing. And the way and so the whole, and that's what the book starts with. And they illustrate, okay, so how do you get people to recommend your product,
Mhm.
other than bribery? The and the point is like, stop talking about your product and start talking about what users can do with it. And like, so
Mm.
like if you were going to advertise a camera, talking about not like all the cool features, but rather like show us the amazing photos that you can take. And like this
Yeah.
could be you. This is not only what you can do, but who you can become. Like
Mm.
if you get this camera, you will, this is the person you will be. Honestly, I feel like this is actually why like Coca-Cola ads are so successful, because like they sell happiness. They're just like, do you want to have like fun in the summer with your friends by the pool? Oh my God. And so it's this like life that they sell. and I know like that's some companies take it to the extreme and it's a little cheesy, but I do think having more of a focus on like the type of developer people can become
Hmm.
through us. And so that's what I want to focus on more is like what are the things that people are struggling to do, um, and how do we make that easier? And so
Hmm.
showcasing that and like showing like you can do this on fly, but like the videos obvious all the videos are going to be related to fly obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
but I want to focus more on the the end value that people get from it.
Yeah, that's huge. I like the way you said that. I think doing it that way or focusing more on what I like saying more on because it just sounds like more. um, Focusing more on pause on the uh the user aspect of it. I think it also allows you to be yourself more or add the character more and make it more human. I think for me, when I've always watched any sort of videos or any sort of content, that personality coming out makes it feel better for me, more organic, where it's more approachable. Where you've got those really formulaic videos that are very just talking head and it doesn't have any character or energy to it. You don't get the feel. It resonates more with me, especially with yours, where you are coming out talking about these things and like you coming out as the person you are and having that personality that is energetic and just infectious. It makes me want to listen. It makes me support you. Maybe it's subconsciously or not. I mean, obviously we know each other, but if I was watching that, I would be more invested in what you're saying because it allows that format allows you to be yourself, but talk passionately about how you're going to help other people with the product, not about a feature. So, yeah, I like that you are doing that. What are some? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've looked at certain people's content for inspiration outside of Jason, which again is still a little bit different to how you're doing it for official like org work. What are maybe some content creators that you look at as sort of yeah inspiration or your muse, if you will, company
Um,
wise? Like who does
uh,
it well?
well, I don't know if I can name a company, but I really like I like Michael Chan's videos a lot. Obviously, I like Jason's. I don't follow a ton of people. I'm kind of strict about who I follow. I I I have watched some more like reactionary content in the past, and those can be like really entertaining.
Mhm.
Um, but I want to be careful about doing things that are too reactionary. Obviously, like as a company, like we want to be careful of that. But just even on a personal level, I want to be careful of that because I think sometimes the creators can. I think it brings out elements of people that are a little like not even competitive, just encourages shit talking, and I don't really love that. So that's just
Yeah.
something I want to be careful of. But Michael Chan is one. Who is the other one that I'm thinking? I'm blanking on. What is it?
I'm
Jack? Is it Jack Harrington?
yeah, Jack.
Yes, Jack Harrington.
Yeah.
He's great. He's also in Portland.
Yep.
He's a lovely person. I really like Jack's content. Um, oh, whoever is what's his face? I think I may have met him. The Super Bass guy. The guy who does the Super Bass content.
I don't know
Fantastic.
if
Really.
I'll have to
If
look.
you yeah, if you check out Super Bass's videos, the person who does those are really good. Like they're really, really clear walkthroughs. And it's all about just like cool things you can do on Super Bass, which like I like for hosted Postgres, I think Superbase is fantastic. And they do really, really good videos. So
I'm gonna have to look.
their
Hey,
Twitter is also
you
really funny.
you mentioned Portland. You guys have quite a tech hub up there and a lot of amazing developers and just your circle. You're connected to a lot of those people and the Jacks and the Jasons and Joel and all of that. What
It's just everyone
you
with a
just
J name.
yeah, all the J's and you and
Mhm,
Annie.
mhm.
Well, not Annie, Dolores. All
Yes,
the
Dolores.
the D's and the J's. You just did something over at the studio. Did you want to talk about that a little bit and why you don't
Yes.
like shoes?
Yeah, I like, even right now, I'm sitting cross-legged. I can't sit like a normal person. I mean, like, I'm very short, so most chairs, like, my feet are dangling, so, like, I'm 5 feet tall, 5 foot even. So
It's
I'm
true.
very short,
I know.
but and you're much taller than I expect. Everyone is taller. I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm like, "Oh, people what's this? People are taller than me? Ugh."
Yeah, I mean, from a short person, hearing you're taller than I thought isn't surprising, but a lot of people said that at Render. They were
Mhm.
like, "You are taller than I thought you were going to be." And then I'm
I don't
like,
know
"Well,
what
how
it is.
I don't know
Yeah.
how tall people thought I was, like 5'9", 5'10". I feel like that's
I
short for a
don't know.
guy.
Is it? I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
Theo was also much taller than I expected, but yeah, I
Yes.
should just stop expecting people to not like be
Yeah.
my height. But
Yeah.
anyways, um, where was I going with this?
You, you were going to talk about what you just did at Jay's
Oh,
studio.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was really excited. I've wanted to be on the show for a while. It just like sometimes it didn't work out. I think there was like a conflict of interest sometimes with some of the sponsors, but
Sure.
um, the I participated in the For Web Devs thing, and which, if you don't know, Jason does this amazing series called. I think we're just calling it For Web Devs at this point because
Yeah.
it's shorter, but it was originally like four web developers, one app idea, which is a mouthful, but
It was a
like
mouthful. Yeah.
yes, but still, like it's a really cool idea, and it's not competitive. It's very it's not collaborative, but it is very friendly,
Hmm.
and Jason has just now started to do them live. Or like we go to the studio, um, we have 4 hours to code. I did a lot of prep work because I do not do well like under pressure like that. So I was like, I can, and I did. I think I was feeling really confident. So
Good.
I think I did well. I think I did the right amount of prep work, but it was a delight. Like Jason is an incredible host. Also, I should just point out, and I'm not just saying this because Jason's my friend, but like, um, sometimes you don't really know what people are like when they're a content creator and they do video.
Mm,
Like, you're like, how much of this is like a personality that you're putting on?
yeah.
Jason is like identical to who he is online. Like, he is not like he's level headed, very funny, like very like kind, really, really kind, a great host. Like, really good at engaging with people. Like I can't say enough good things. But he's like exactly like that in real life. So I promise. But yeah, he's a fantastic host. Like whenever you participate, there's like dinner at Jason's, and then
Yeah.
there's like we would go out for like drinks and dinner at a fantastic restaurant afterwards, because Jason knows food very well, and he's like an incredible chef. So it's an absolute delight getting working there, and I don't know, I can't remember their full names, but Shruti and Z were the other two participants. I'm so sorry, I don't remember their. I don't think I even learned their last names. I could have looked that up, but anyways, fantastic. And yeah, we had a party, and it's a like a legit production. I'm always baffled at like, holy moly, there's like I'm getting mic'd up, and there's like fancy people with very expensive looking cameras, and wow, this is like grown up production. Okay.
Yeah, it was like the real thing. I mean, when he was going around Render with his crew, like what a and I had asked him at one point when we were just walking, I was like, You ever like look at this moment right now and just kind of reflect on it? We were walking down one of the halls and he's got this whole crew, like a literal film crew, because there was a sound guy, there were the two camera guys. It's like, do you ever just like think about this moment, like take a snapshot for yourself and think about like what this is? Like it's got to be kind of a cool experience, just to think about what you had to do to get there and earn that.
Mhm.
And then yeah, getting mic'd up. I remember the first time because having worked in film production,
Mhm.
I've been mic'd. It was a little weird. Like somebody just comes up to you who again has done it hundreds of times already. So you're just another person, but the first time you have to do it, it can be a little invasive. It's also
It's very
changed a lot.
invasive. Yeah, like, I'm glad I didn't wear a shirt that was too, like, muffly, but she was just like, "Don't mind me." Like,
Yep. Yeah.
"Okay, oh,
No,
all
make
right then."
yourself at home.
I
Okay.
mean, I have no modesty, so it's totally fine, but,
Yeah.
um
Different for some people, for sure. What
oh, somebody was asking, Chris Lane Jones is asking who had the film crew. That was Jason Langsdorff. He's for
yeah,
his
yeah.
for web dev series. Um, okay, 5'10" is the average in the US. Ryan.Fuhrer says 5'10" is the average height in
Oh,
US.
the
So
Fuhrer has
it's not,
spoken.
yes. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, I'm
Mhm.
looking back through Jay's post here to see who the other. I know Brian was there because you guys use Clerk,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, we used Clerk, we used Convex, we used Raycast. All really, really cool. Convex definitely was. I actually felt bad because like a lot, like these sponsor representatives are supposed to be there to help answer questions about the technology.
Uh,
And we just did not have many questions. Like, I think I may have been the only person who had questions about Clerk because it was just like, oh, yeah, just drop this in, which is a testament to how like easy Clerk is to work
yeah,
with. But I was like, ah, man, we should ask more questions. They're just too easy.
it really is. I mean, I did a speed run on it a while ago with a little tutorial video. I was like, oh wow, this is too simple to use. The team's great too. So if you ever actually have questions, all knowledgeable. Brian's very supportive as
Mhm.
well, and he'll be at that conference next week. So I'm excited to finally meet him. Um, yeah, this whole conference thing has been quite the experience. I want to circle back to that, but I wanted to talk about because you had mentioned expectation versus reality of people when you meet them, and I think for me, that's one thing that I really have an aversion to is that lack of authenticity or having the character.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Mm.
think I'm a little jaded coming from the film industry, you know. And I think you and I talked
Yeah.
about this when we were at Render too, just like that whole everybody's fake. Everybody, you know, the whole industry is you're paid to not be yourself. So
Mm.
it's like different for me. So when I start to kind of sniff that on somebody here, like I don't like it at all. But I didn't feel that, especially from like you. Jason, him and I had a couple really great conversations, and I felt his authenticity and what he's saying. And I think that was always important for me too, just coming into tech is like I'm the person off line is the same person as online, and I try
Mhm.
to really live by that. So I appreciated that you brought that up because I'm 100% on the same page as you, and I think that you are that that goofy video maker across the board. Like even in the couple conversations that we had at Render when we were hanging out, it's like that. Yeah, that's the exact same person. So that's cool.
Thank you. I think I always feel like I'm like way weirder in person. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I am a space cadet. Hey,
I
what's
mean,
up?
you're all over the board. It's fine.
Utpa, hey, how's it
Utpa's here.
going?
Do you
Yay.
remember Utpa? You
Of
remember Utpa
course.
from Render?
Yeah. I do. Rooftop party.
Classic Utpa. Yeah, yeah, he's a good dude. There's somebody who I absolutely think is the exact same person online and in real life. It was cool to meet him as well. All right, what the hell was I? I circled back. I was gonna circle back. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. What's the deal with Bridgerton? Give me an
All right.
elevator pitch on why I should watch that show.
Some of y'all have not seen Bridgerton, and it shows. So let
Yeah,
me. Okay,
yeah.
it is a very smutty, like over the top period piece. Think like Jane Austen, but like way smuttier, and like they go crazy with the costumes. Like they really, I mean, like it. No, like they're in terms of like visuals, they're not really going for. They just want you to get the vibe that it's like the 18 teens, like just make
Uh,
sure it's roughly in the same time period, let's get the silhouette right. But then they're using like sparkly sequins, everything, like, anyways, the costumes are all over the place, but yeah, it's very on the line of like Jane Austen. And I think
okay.
that people have realized that there's a huge market for really fun historical romance stories out there, and it's really, really delightful. The music is awesome. Yeah, they also do like a lot of what is it? The like classic renditions of like violin renditions of pop songs.
Okay, see, that I could get into.
It's very fun.
I don't know that I can get invested in what I've sort of coined as like lady porn, where it's like these really, what'd you say, smutty? Did you say smutty?
Smutty, listen,
Smut-
it gets raunchy. It gets raunchy. I'm just saying. I think season 2 is the best, hands down.
Okay.
Season 2, nice slow burn, really lovely. I think more men should get into it and see what it's all about. I've heard Queen Charlotte. Queen Charlotte's sort of like a tangential series that's like about the Queen and her growing up and her romance. So I want to watch that next. But yes, what do we got here? Yes. Anyways,
We've got some other fangirls here. Roxy's here. I
yeah.
definitely could see Roxy watching Bridgerton as well.
It's so much fun. Yes, season 2, exactly. Roxy knows what's
Season
up.
2 is the jam.
It's fantastic. So, anyways, I don't know where I got the idea. Well, I don't know. It's just weird ideas pop into my head, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do this. Hacker news. We need to. I just like. I'll talk about my like very very early attempts at TikToking, and I
Do it.
really am leaning into, how do I say this without sounding like a complete hippie, but I am leaning into joy and play this year. And um last year was just like a very financially scary year for me. And so now that like things are stable and I have money
Mhm.
again and I have like the space and freedom to relax more, I am leaning into that hard and just saying like life is very short. I am here to have as much fun as possible and just be
Good.
like an absolute goof. Um, and there's a lot of like very serious like content about developers stuff. Sometimes it's not even serious, but sometimes it's just very like it's very like about the technology, and I
Mhm.
want to make fun of it. I
Hell
just
yeah.
want to make fun of like the whole community because like I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm like there's just so much to laugh at. Like we take ourselves way too seriously.
Agreed.
So I am just this little imp in the corner doing weird stuff. So like putting
We need
potted
that
plants
though.
on my head. Yes.
We need that though. You know, like you said, especially with, oh my God, with like the economy or just like the job market right now.
Oh, I know.
Everything's so serious.
It's so, and yeah, oh my gosh, don't even, I mean, I'm gonna cap the economy talk conversation, but it is a little like ridiculous hearing that like the economy is doing wonderful, and everyone who's like seeking a job is like, what are you talking about? This is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's wild. No, I think that we need more content like that. And I love that season that you're in of joy and happiness. I heard a clip, or I guess I saw a clip. Kevin Smith was talking about after he had like a massive heart attack or whatever the hell happened to him when he was big and he lost all this weight and everything. Um, Life's too short. It's like you could spend the day thinking about all the negative or focusing on the negative or just taking in all of this negative that the world has, or you could just be happy and talk about positive and be joyful and make silly videos and stuff like that. So it's cool that that's your inspiration for doing that. And I think it influences others. And again, it's infectious. The joy is infectious. You bring
good. My
smiles
plan
to
is working.
the people. It's great. Um, what's next? You write your content when you have these ideas? Do you like jot them down? Do you have a little like idea book?
Yes,
You do.
I definitely do. I'll say the thing about making silly little videos is so this is like the first time in my life that I've really like given myself permission to like, hey, let's actually like work hard at this. Let's actually like put some effort in and write jokes, not just like say something off the cuff. Like Twitter is great because I can just say something off the cuff and you know, it might land, it might not, but I like it's pretty low, it's very low effort. And I've always thought of myself as like like, yeah, I'm kind of funny, but like I'm like dinner party funny, right? Like I was like, I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna like be serious and like actually make an attempt at my comedy. And I'm like, I don't know. Let's try. Let's see what so I don't
Yeah.
know. But when it comes to like funny videos, I was like, it just I've come to appreciate like it is work. Like you got to do so many different takes, and like the thing about like executing on comedy when it's like a planned filmed thing is that like behind the scenes it's very lame. Like it doesn't look fun like to the point where you're telling these jokes, you're doing the bit, and you're like, well, I sure hope this is still funny because you've heard it so many times that you're like, is it funny? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh
Like it
yeah.
was funny the first time. I hope it's funny. Like, I mean, so like it kind of like you sort of lose sight of how punchy it is, but
Mhm.
that's the risk you got to take is like, well, if I put all this energy into this thing, people might not think it's that funny, which I mean, I can accept that. Like
Yeah.
I'm like medium funny. I'm very like I go for like the easy low hanging fruit. That's fine with
Yeah.
me. Um, but it's I mean, I am so impressed when people pull off like a bit on TikTok, especially if it has like any level of costumes involved. And when I say costume, I mean just like even like the cheesiest, cheapest costumes ever. I'm like, somebody like went to Party City and purchased these things and got a wig and put this on
Yeah.
and probably did multiple takes, but it looks so like casual and silly. And I think that's the charm of it is like when there's like not too much production effort, like that it's
Yes.
way funnier if like I even considered for the Bridgerton video of like maybe I should get like a costume. I was like, no, just no, just
Yeah.
put random stuff on your head. So
Yeah. Like the towel
there's
on the head for hair. Roxy's pointing out. That's
yes,
hilarious.
yeah. It was actually there was a oh my gosh, what is it called? A bonnet. I got a bonnet, and then uh there was toilet paper on my head as well. I don't know if that's anyways. Toilet paper, spoons, plants. Um,
Amazing.
my
That
coffee pour, but it's so much effort. Like it's when you're actually doing it, you don't feel funny at all. Like maybe there's a couple of moments, but like for the most
yeah.
part, it's just it's very awkward. Like
Yeah, you feel yes, I was gonna say awkward was the first word
yeah,
that
it's
came into my
super
head.
awkward. So I'm glad it kind of turns out, but it's hard
Yeah.
work.
It really is. I mean, comedy's very contextual too. You know,
Mhm.
you sometimes have to be able to know the audience, or a lot of it also can happen in the edit. You know, if your
Yes,
timing and pacing of your
it's
shots
everything.
isn't the
It's
right way,
everything.
oh man, that's funny. We years ago on a film that we were shooting on one of the weekends that we had off, me and a couple of the other guys on the crew decided that we were going to suede, as they call it, where it's like reshoot on the cheap, um, the whole film in a day. So we started in the morning and we like tried to shoot it like shot for shot, and it's totally tongue in cheek comedy. But at one point we had to simulate a train, so we were in the window of one of the motel rooms and we were running. A couple of us were outside with tree branches running by the window. So the guy in the shots like leaning with his face up against the window, and then you see the branches go by, so it looks like he's actually like moving. And then we added a train uh audio effect to it, but I'll have to send you, I'll send you the video of that. It's private, but it was pretty
Okay,
funny.
that
I
sounds
think you'll
awesome.
enjoy it. Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm a huge fan of just using what you have,
mhm.
because I again it's supposed to be light. And I think if you take things too seriously, sometimes it dilutes the comedic effect. I mean, you can still nail jokes with higher level creation content or production value, but I don't know, just that like really raw grassroots, let's see what's in my closet and make it happen, I think just adds a nice feel to it. So I
You
respect that.
you know what I was just thinking? So and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole too much because I am going to drop the AI word. But the one thing I have never seen AI do even remotely well, and like I don't see it getting much better, is
Mhm.
comedy. Like you try, I mean, like they
Yeah.
can tell you like maybe a pun and like or like retell a joke, but like LLMs do not get it. There's so much
No.
context that like and it's like very culture specific, you know?
Mhm.
And so like depending on the model, it might not have the right context. Like never in my life have I even like remotely seen
No,
AI do
I
anything
agree with
close. And
that.
I was like, okay, this one little like snippet of humanity, we can like hang on to this thing.
Yeah. This is always going to be ours.
Mhm.
Um, no, I agree. I think that there's just certain things that cannot be done in that way with that technology. I mean, even the roasts, it's formulaic. Like it doesn't feel right or funny. Um,
Mhm.
I did improv at Second City, and I've like shot plenty of
Oh,
comedies
hell
and stuff.
yeah.
And I mean, the thing about comedy is it's always for people. Like there's never going to be a computer that can tell me what's funny,
Mhm.
and if it is, it's already telling me a joke that I've already, like, someone's already heard or someone created. I mean, isn't that what,
Mhm.
like, the models are learning from stuff we've made? So if the comedy is the inspiration, it's we've already had it. So it's not doing anything different. It's not reinventing the wheel or tailoring it.
Right. Right, exactly. I think it's very, um I think the thing is, like, even if it has the data, I don't think it will I think it's and, you know, like, people used to say, like, "Oh, AI art will never be that good," and they were saying that a year ago, and now look at it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
incredible. I still have a lot of issues with it because it's killing artist jobs, but, like, it really like, so anytime people are like, "Ugh, look at this, it's never gonna replace this other thing because it's just not that good," and I was like, give it a few months, like, so
Yeah.
that, like, is never a reassurance for me, but, like, I've never seen I think even with all the data that it could process about comedy and stand up, I I think that there is so much like human context and like current events that like that is one of the most complex things that you can do that the human brain just like
Hmm.
does in an instance and just like knows what will be punchy. Um I will be like it will be a sad day when I hear AI write a good joke. Although I will say, like this was like eons ago at this point, but like there was a yeah, read the room. They can't read the
Yeah.
room exactly. But they there was I don't know if it's still online. There was this like really bad like computer generated Seinfeld. What was it? It was like AI generated Seinfeld episodes. Like they had the
Really.
music and everything, but they had these like blocky characters standing in for them. And they would do the voice and I mean the voices weren't that good, but it was like its attempt at replicating Seinfeld jokes and it's just like absolute nonsense. So in like a nonsensical hallucination kind of way, it was really funny. I think they had to like take it down or like edit it a bit because it just got like really racist and sexist.
Oh
Oh, the
boy.
90s. Um
I found it on YouTube here. I'm gonna put a link. This is Oh, wow, this is super cringy. Hold on. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat here.
AI
Boom.
Batman story. Oh, interesting.
AI Batman, huh?
Roxy's like, "Are we calling AI they now?" Oh, no. No, it. It is not a
It will
person.
always be, yeah.
No.
It it will always be AI.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about because again, it's looking at it from a creator's perspective or somebody that likes to make things. It's why would we want these things to create for us? If I want to write comedy, why would I ever want people to develop something? So I guess I don't understand the motivation to have it be doing those things, you know?
Money. The answer is always
Yeah.
money. It's
Yeah. No,
just
that's true.
money. There is no other answer.
That sucks. It from again, from like the creative process, just it sucks that there's people out there that are willing to lose all of that. Not even just from the job side, but the creative, the art. Like that's like a ingrained in some people's brains. It's part of who they are. So you're willing to just destroy that. Not again, not even about the money. I left making decent money doing something that I really enjoyed because I didn't like the industry, but it doesn't mean that I want machines or something to replace it, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
And I do think that there's a lot of room for how helpful it can be. It's just a matter of, like,
mhm.
it just needs to be balanced with having a real like, not even appreciation, but you need to take a lot of it with a grain of salt and like really think through the impacts
Yeah,
of this. Like, I gotta like, so I this is a bit of a brag. I
do it.
just finished. Hang on, let me get the book. I just finished
Oh,
reading
do
this
it.
like beast of a book. Hang on.
It's a
I
beast
want
of
to
a
shout
book.
it. Yeah, I want to shout it from the rooftops. I'm like, look at me, I'm amazing.
I
I just
read.
finished. I finished reading this guy. I
Holy
run a
shit.
cover to cover, like the whole thing, like there's the highlights and
That's
everything.
a
So I'm
monster.
so proud. But the last section, so Martin Klutman is the author, and they write about, I mean, the whole thing is like really complex data stuff and like,
Mhm.
batch processes and Hadoop and like distributed data, all sorts of things. And at the end, they have a talk about like the ethics of data and
Mhm.
what we use for it, and like especially like predictive stuff, right? And it's a thing we need to be careful of because it's very easy for like insurance companies and um, law enforcement
Mm,
to like. There is a future where, I mean, I'm sure to some degree this is already being used, that like, I just don't even know about, but like it's a thing to consider. Like if we
yeah.
are purely going on statistics and pattern matching, we are forgetting that there is a human being on the line, and like,
Mhm.
you know like it's like a sci-fi story of like villains who are like,
Yeah.
well, statistically you're more likely to become a criminal, so we're going to put you in jail, like that
Oh,
kind of stuff. And I know
it's
that's
my
extreme, but like,
it's Minority Report. Did you see
yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so I think that it's very I really liked that at the end of the book there was this point about like we need to
Mhm.
think about what we do with this data. It's not just like we cannot as engineers, like this is not just a business problem. This is an engineering problem too.
Mhm.
We cannot pretend like we are not involved in these decisions, and we need to like be
Yeah.
aware of this and care that like whatever we do with data, whatever we do with machine learning, so that we are thinking about the other humans on the other end of this and how it will impact them. So
Yeah. I think and you hit the nail on the head when we as humans start looking at the other ones as just a statistic or a number,
mhm.
that's where the line gets crossed, you know. And it's scary because there's so many industries that pretty much already do that, you know. Um
Yeah.
Yes, that is definitely a bummer. I think you also had made a comment about using the AI tools the way they're actually meant to be, and that was something I was talking to PJ Metz, who works over at GitHub. He's some educator over there, some crap. I don't know. PJ, sorry, I don't know what the fuck you do over there, dude. I like you. I'll see you this week. But he, they when they made Copilot, they named it Copilot because it's not the pilot.
Yes,
It's
I love
meant
that.
to aid. And that really like stuck with me and resonated with me because again, it's the point of all of these is to be a tool, not to do the job. And if
Yes, I very much agree with that, and
yeah.
I think this is where it actually took me a little while to warm up to it because I was very like skeptical of
Mhm.
basically all things AI for a while.
Yeah.
Um, but then I started using it and I started to see like how, I mean, it's undeniably useful. And I feel good about how I use it. Like it's always a helper for me. And I use it for all
Yeah.
sorts. I mean, I love Copilot. I used to be like, I don't need a machine to write code for me. But then like it will just it's the stuff, it's the autocomplete stuff, like not having to write an entire fetch request. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, what's that?
Huge.
You just want to write a post request? Here, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, so nice. And I honestly, I have learned a lot. I have learned so much. I would say the number one thing that I have benefited from is using ChatGPT or other services as a rubber duck.
Yeah.
Like it is
Hmm.
invaluable, like because I'm able to like dig in. I have no concern about like annoying somebody. I can just like dig into something. I'm like, wait,
Hmm.
okay, you're saying this, but that sounds a lot like this other thing. And how is that different? I'm really confused. And so I can just like put this into words and talk to it and really get a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
And you know, I double check. I do double check things, but because you know, it'll sometimes just make things up. But
Sure. Yeah.
well, actually, sometimes if it says things that are contradictory, I will just say like, "Hey, you said something contradictory. What's the real answer?" And it'll say, and then I'll like double check that. So,
Yeah.
um, but unbelievably helpful for that. So as an assistant, even for artists, like I'm very like on edge about AI art, but like I have a friend who has been in the game industry for like over a decade as a
Mhm.
concept artist. She's the best artist I know. Um, that's not true. I know a lot of really good artists. So she's you know, top five.
She's up there. She's up
Um
there.
but she was saying how the using AI can be really helpful when it comes to a lot of grunt work. Like if you're building
Mm.
a video game and you have like a style of tree that you want to use, but you don't want to like
Mm.
it's a lot of grunt work to have like artists just churn out like a lot of different variations of trees in a certain
Sure.
style. And so if you can just like feed a machine, be like, hey, give me like 20 varieties of this kind of thing, right? In this style, that is
Yeah.
so helpful because like and it's very very common for artists to not just in the concept art game industry but also like fine artists will they'll have I mean actually this is me saying like actually this would replace a job um but it's sort of like it's not a lot of creative work. It's
Yeah.
more technical work. Like where big artists will like if there's like let's say you're painting a night sky, if it's like a really big painting, fine artists will have interns or they'll contract like newer, younger artists to go
Mm.
in and like stipple in all the stars and
Yeah.
stuff. It's just a lot of like repetitive work,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
repetitive work is really, I mean, I don't know if we're at the point where like it could paint exactly what we wanted. But this idea that like, yeah, there is grunt work that art like fine artists will delegate to somebody who's like newer and they're like, this is easier work, go do it. I'll pay you some money. But that kind of repetitive work
Hmm.
that doesn't require a lot of like thought is
Yeah.
very very useful to artists and
Sure.
or like even finding reference material. So I don't think that AI has like no place in the art world. I do think it has a place. So
I think there's tons of applications where it makes sense. I mean, for especially now in the film industry where a lot of it's done with CGI and computers, why not? Why not use it if it can streamline some of your post production and the editing, and you still have to pay for it, but if it cuts that time in half, like post production time can be one of the most tedious and expensive components. So
mhm.
if it's able to build like a whole like sound stage for your chroma key stuff and you can just put it together with like that and then you make the modifications, yada yada. I mean, that would be huge. Again, I definitely see, oh boy, coming in hot. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, here, do you want here, hold on, Jack's making a cameo. This is not AI, this is a real boy. Hey, can you come over
Sure. Sure, that's what they all
here?
say.
Come here. Yeah, no, he's not AI. Jack GPT coming in hot. All right.
No thanks.
No
Hi.
thanks. Oh, you want
Hi.
to tell a joke?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Uh, what's a good
I don't know. You know him.
one? Wait. Cal says.
Cow says who?
He said cow says.
Cow says who?
No, cows
says
go
what?
moo.
Oh, very good.
Comedy.
I honestly, like, when you said, like,
are you
let's
leaving? I
think-
was still talking.
What you said?
I said it's really hard to think of a joke when you're like on the spot. So I honestly, when you said like knock knock, what's a good one? I suddenly forgot every knock knock joke I ever knew.
Uh-huh.
It's hard.
Oh, are you leaving?
I'm done.
All right. Cool. See ya. Why don't you go hang out in your room? I'm almost done. Okay. I promised him we'd go to what he doesn't know is that it's just like a car dealership, but they sell like classic, like muscle cars and stuff like that.
Very cool.
So he just thinks it's a museum. So I hope they don't try to make me buy anything, but he wants to go. So that's what we're going to be doing after this. Yeah.
Yay.
And then we have to start packing for next week. What's next in-person event for you that's coming up?
Oh gosh, am I allowed to? I'm going to think. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I'm gonna hold off on one. I'm going to. I will say this is like far away in November. I'm gonna go to Malmo or Malmo. I do not know how to say that town in Sweden. For what is it? What is it called? I can't remember the name of the conference. Anyways, going to a conference in Malmo, Sweden.
That sounds cool.
Very cool. And I am going to another one in September. It's probably fine to mention it, but I don't know.
Is it the thing with the guy that we both know that he hasn't said anything about yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah,
He sent me a message about it.
So I'm going to that in September.
Cool.
I would like to do more, but yeah, I'm kind of like heads down on videos right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Completely unrelated to what you were just alluding to. So I'm talking to Kent C. Dodds next week. Do you have any tips? Do you have any tips about talking to him like a real human?
I don't know. Is that a skill that I have? I will. He's actually,
Oh, here's one. How tall is he? Is he tall?
I feel like he was average. I feel like he was average height.
He's like a 5'10"er. Okay.
Maybe so. Kent, if you ever watch this, let us know. Or don't. I don't know. But well, so it's a common misconception that Kent is actually a robot. So he's actually not. He's actually a human. So you can just talk to him like a human. I don't know.
I will try. So we're doing at that conference, I've got 2 1-hour blocks scheduled for the main stage, which is streamed on YouTube. And then on the first one, Kent and I are going to be sitting down and chatting. So I've never really talked to him before. We've exchanged some messages, but I know you two have hung out often.
Well, really once. We've hung out once, but then we connect on Twitter a lot. But which apparently this is like half of my friendships are now just like Twitter connections. So that I see like once a year at a conference. But it's fine. I'll take it. Kent is a sweetie poo. Like he is a sweet person. He is like he's like I can't emphasize it anymore. He is like a really kind person and really considerate. So
nice.
there is no face being put on there. So
the total opposite of me. This will be perfect.
Just a fraud, Jason Torres. Absolute fraud.
That's right.
Yeah, Kent is great.
Well, that's cool. I'm excited to talk to him. I love his energy and I like everything that he's putting out there. And I'm excited to see his talk because I think his talk is Tuesday morning. So he'll do his talk. There's a couple more things on the main stage and then I'll chat with him. And then that's Wednesday. That's Wednesday. My talk is Tuesday. And I think his is in the morning. So then we talk Wednesday. And then on Thursday, toward the end of that conference, Mark Thompson and I are going to do like a retrospective. So we'll just talk about all the fun stuff and then maybe have some special guests while we're doing it. But
very cool.
Yeah.
And then maybe I ask what your talk is?
Yeah, I'm talking about community building and why it's so important and yada yada. But all right, everybody that's going to that conference, put earmuffs on. Earmuffs. All right, everybody. They can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah, they can't hear you.
I have, I have a very special surprise. I'm going to send you a picture of the outfit that I'm going to be wearing. Um, it's
Costumes.
pretty awesome. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have it's I'll be very shocked if anybody like picks up on it before I finish the talk. Let me put it that way. So anyway, I'll send you a picture of it. But I am excited for that. I was running like a couple weeks ago and I was listening to a guided run and the person was talking about running communities and like in that moment I just had this epiphany of everything that my talk was about. So I just like blasted it all out and yeah, I'm pretty excited. Um it's the only thing. I think this is the last like conference that I have set for. However, that the aforementioned thing that we can't talk about that somebody
Mm-hmm.
sent me information about might also be
Mm-hmm.
on the an option. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. I I may or may not talk to them about it next week. So
Related to cars, when you're going to the museum, Love the Noob says you should buy an El Camino. So
I would love an El Camino. Those were so badass. Um, yeah, yeah, Jack would love El Caminos too. We go to a lot of car shows that are around here as well. He's big into cars. He's excited for that conference next week too because of the water park. So, have you ever been to that
oh
conference, Annie?
no, I've never been to that conference. Water park, what?
Hell yeah, they do it at this. It's called the Kalahari Resort and Convention Center. They've got
Okay.
like 100,000 square foot indoor and outdoor water park. There's an amusement park in the building.
Wait a minute,
It's massive.
Kalahari?
Yeah, they have them. There's a few of them across the country. Got like
Kalahari,
five.
like the desert? That's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
cute name.
I know. It's going to be pretty fun. I think he's going to have a good time. I know I will. And they have like 5 restaurants too, but a lot of them serve the same stuff because I guess it's like kind
Yeah.
of a chain. So they have chains. But anyway, it's Friday. What do you have going on this weekend? Give us your closing thoughts, and I'm going to let you prep for your big moment.
Thank
after
you.
This.
Prep is going to be food, but this weekend, just to show you how cool I am, I'm going to a Renaissance festival. Don't have a costume, but I need to. I'm gonna raid
you
my
better
friends.
get something.
Well, I've got like half a costume, but I don't have a bodice, and I need to get like a little. Anyways, you will never find better people watching than at a Ren fair.
No, I agree with
Super
that.
delightful. So I'm going with a bunch of
I
nerds.
love we have a huge one here in New York. It's the Sterling
Oh yeah,
Renaissance
New York's got a
Festival.
huge one, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And it is very cool. And I would usually get the smoked turkey leg, the big turkey leg.
Oh my gosh, those are so hard to eat.
Yeah, they're terrible too. It's like the
They're not
worst
good.
possible. No, it's not.
It's just for the gimmick. You're like, aha!
Yes.
I've got my
Yes.
turkey
Look at
leg at my
me,
meat, or I'm
eating
so
all
medieval.
medieval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so much fun.
Yeah, it's so gross. And like $25, it's like way expensive. I could buy 2 whole turkeys for that price. And then a Robin Hood hat. That was always my thing, the cheap Robin Hood hat.
You'd make a great Robin Hood. I don't know. You've got the face for it. I don't know what it is.
Thank you.
Like, oh yeah.
I think it's the mustache.
I think you're right. I think the mustache.
It's
got like
it's got like Errol Flynn vibes, like old Robin Hood.
Yes. So. Exactly.
Sweet, Annie, this was really fun. You are a joy to talk to. And again, your energy is infectious. I should probably go get tested. Give us some closing thoughts and we'll get you the hell out of here for your spaghetti lunch.
As someone who took a break from tech last year and has come back with a vengeance, I hope everyone is able to actually have fun with it and be delighted in learning about it, because it really is very fun. And I think the more we can be kind of stupid and jokey about it, the easier it is to learn. So
I love that.
Be super silly.
Have fun with it. Isn't that the point? Life's too short to not have fun. So be silly. All right. I will talk to you soon. This has been
Yes.
a blast. Always a pleasure. Good luck with your stream. I'll have to check
Thank
it
you.
out. Do you have a link to that? Is that on
Oh
here? Or
yeah.
is it
If
on-
you it's wait, where are we streaming? I don't even know what we're doing. It's I think if you check out, if you follow me on Twitter, I am. And yeah, here, Jason, if you can put my
Link
Twitter
in
handle.
threads.
I don't know how to stream. I've got a link.
I
If you scroll down, there's a link to the YouTube live thingy that we're going to be doing. So it'll be on YouTube.
I gotcha. I just posted the YouTube link there. So that's in 1 hour. And he's going to go fuel up before that, or 48 minutes, excuse me. I apologize. 48 minutes. So everybody go check that out. Follow fly.io and Annie on the twits, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.